Hi kids. This is a quick video, and today I'm going to show you how to use the databases provided by the school district. Okay, so first things first, you need to get signed in, logged into ClassLink. Okay, and then on my screen is what mine looks like. I understand yours is a little bit different. That is okay. I just have mine separated into different files. So um, you need to you need to find science online. It looks like this atom. Okay, you're going to click on it, and then it's going to bring you to this home page here. And then, from my understanding, your topic is about collision. So what you can do is you can type in collision here, enter. Okay, now look at all these articles that come up about collision. Okay, all kinds of things, forces and acceleration, asteroid defense systems. So if you're doing a meteorite collision with the Earth, that one you might want to look into. It talks about preparing for collision. It just talks about them, all the things. There was a good one. Oh yeah, momentum and collision. I saw that one too. That was another good one. And this is the formula. How do you measure collision? How much damage is going to do? Acceleration. Look at all this formula. Okay. Now that might be above and beyond what you are asked to do for your assignment, but it's always good to know. What else can I see? Smart materials. You might look into that one. Oh, look at this. Your house is dumb. I like that first sentence right there. Your house is dumb. Okay, you caught my attention. Okay, now let's just say we're on this one. Let's well, I'm going to back up for just a minute. Okay, so now we're at the top. So all I did was go to the home page, and then I typed in collision right here, and then I clicked search. Boom. And then I'm actually on page 2. So at the very bottom, there is more pages to be seen. You can go all the way to whatever page, 5. This is listing number 26 of 50, 26 to 50 of 535 articles about collision. Okay. And I'm on page 2. Where did I find oh yeah. Okay. And then some ways to help narrow down your search. Okay, right here it says articles. Right now, this is listing and showing all the articles about collision. Okay, I can click experiments. Look at this collision theory. Okay, shared momentum. Remember, we talked about momentum. Okay, these are all good things to know and to look into for your research, whatever you're researching, whatever your project is. Okay. Images and diagram, you can click on that. Particle collision. I don't know if you're all are researching specifically particle collision. From my understanding, it's collision and protect and trying to find something to protect that something against the collision. That was kind of my understanding. So images and diagrams just to kind of help narrow down your search, just ways to search. Here's car collision, staged collision, galaxy collision. I don't know if you're doing galaxy. Okay, tectonic map of Asia. So tectonic plate collision. Maybe that can be a topic or a subject that somebody is looking into. Here are some videos. What is this? Testing collision impact. I'm going to assume this is vehicles. Oh, increasing debris in orbit. So this is space. Collision, asteroids, tectonic, there it is. Tectonic plate collision, traces of collision, okay? Asteroid, war in space, continents clash. Yeah, those are some ideas, okay? And then this is, oh yeah, this is giving you a date, okay? A timeline, just kind of the information, how we came about collision, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Hawking theories, Stephen Hawking. Hopefully y'all know who that man is. And then news, recent news. Like this is within a year's worth of news. See, 2024, 2023, that's 2 years ago or so. This is recent news about collision. So look, this one says Toyota. That is the name of a vehicle brand, Toyota. So maybe that's a vehicle collision. Oh, yeah, Tesla, vehicles. Okay, that's just upcoming news. And then right here, you can choose the dates, all that good stuff. Okay, I want to go back to this one. So those are ways to help narrow down your search. Okay, now I want to go to, is it this one? It was on page 2. I want to go to page 2. It says, your house is dumb. That's why that first sentence caught my attention. Where'd it go? Oh, did I miss it? Oh, right here. Your house is dumb. Let's see how dumb my house is. Okay. So we talked about kind of narrowing down your search. Now let's talk about a couple of features. So there's save. Of course, y'all know what save is. Print, share. You can share it with others. You can share it with yourself. That way you can have it and save it and email it to yourself, however you want to do that. Let's see what, oh, there it is. Okay, so you can copy the URL, email, you can embed, you can share too. Those are the options for the share. Of course, y'all know save. Okay, sign in with Google, et cetera, et cetera. Download, y'all know what download is. Okay, and let's talk about citation. So depending on your teacher, they might say MLA, APA, Chicago, Harvard. Okay, so and you have the option. You can click on these little bubbles, and it will change the format from MLA to Chicago, Harvard, APA. Okay, now I just want to emphasize how important it is to make sure you are citing your resources. You have to give credit where it is due. And you don't just pull this information out of thin air. So your teacher is going to ask you, are you sure this is correct? Or where did you get this information? Because this is great information, but there's no resources, citations to back up this information. So at that point, it's plagiarism. And there are consequences to that. And that is another conversation. I'm sure your teacher has a whole lesson to talk to you about plagiarism and consequences, et cetera, et cetera. But it is so important to make sure we are citing our sources, to give credit where credit is due. Okay. Because these researches, for example, David Newton, he is a researcher that did research on smart materials. Okay. He did a research on smart materials. Look at all this information that he did a research on. He proved it, scholarly, all the things. Okay. He did all this. He proved with research and numbers that all this information is true. Okay. Now, you didn't do the research. You didn't go in the field and get these numbers and formulas and create them and prove they're true. Okay. He did. So you have to give credit to him. Okay. Moving right along. And then there's read aloud if someone needs it to be read to them. And then, of course, you have save to drive and save with Google, et cetera, et cetera. And then let's talk about on the right-hand side, there's the table of contents, definitions, and let's just click cast iron. I'm just clicking on one. And then, boom, it gives us our definition right here. And then let's go. Okay, and then I'm just moving right along. These are table of contents. I just clicked smart materials. Oh no, sorry, that's the name of our article right here. Yeah, definition, and then tags. Okay, so tags helps find similar resources with those similar subjects. So for example, this is about smart materials. So maybe these, matter physics, I don't even, electrical phenomenon. I don't even know what that word is. Ferroelectrical materials. Okay, all these tags are similar to this subject, article, topic, all the above. Okay, so those are just other ways that you can find other resources if needed. Okay, now let's talk about, okay, another way. So we just talked about typing in collision. Okay, and then we click search the first time. Let's talk about this way. You can hover over browse. Let's go ahead and delete this so I don't confuse anybody. You're going to hover over browse and you can click on physics. Okay, this is just an overview, general subjects and topics about physics, atoms, classical physics overview, electricity overview, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and I understand your topic is collision, so you can click on here and let's see what things you can find about collision. Okay, I'm not finding too many things. And again, I'm checking these tags over here to see if there's anything about collision over here. They did not give me a definition section over here. So maybe I didn't click on the right one, but these are just options. Okay. Relative diagrams. I'm not seeing collision over here anywhere. Okay. But you're going to have to dig and you can go through any of these. Another way to search, okay, we hovered over browse and we clicked on physics. Now I'm going to hover over browse. I'm going to click on physics in action. And this is where I had a little bit more success. Okay. I'm on forces and motion. So these are some things that have to do with collision, two forces, two pieces of matter colliding, and you're trying to create something to protect, one another from the other. So the one I really kind of, there's stars and galaxies, processes that shape the earth. So plate tectonics is in that one. Maybe asteroids might be in this one. Okay. And then, but where I had the most success, I clicked on forces. This talks about force of nature, normal force, tension, spring force. This might be something to look into, just depending on what protective equipment you are using. You might need to know this information, spring force. And again, I'm checking over here, looking at my tags, force, mass, mechanics, normal force, physics, quantity, work, okay, gravity to earth, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm also checking over here what kind of definitions I can find in here. Mass, I'm just going to click on mass. Okay, this is the definition of mass. That is important to know whenever you are dealing with whatever item you're protecting. Okay, so for example, let's say you're trying to figure out something to protect a cell phone from collision when it hits the ground. Okay, like you don't need to create a piece of slab, concrete to protect your phone. It needs to be the appropriate mass material to protect your phone. So I'm sure plastic, rubber, or both, or something other than maybe concrete to protect your phone. You know what I mean? So that is important because you need to find the correct mass or material for that. And then again, here's some equations that might be too far beyond what your project is requiring of you. But I'm looking over here. I'm checking out these items, speed and acceleration. You might need to know that. Here's the formulas for that. How much damage, the faster it is, the more damage it's going to cause. That's important to know. Contact force, center of mass, average velocity, average speed, average acceleration. These are good things to know. So, and like I said, this is a quick video. I hope I answered a lot of questions, and I'm sure I might have raised some more questions. Hopefully I've answered more than raised any. So please feel free to ask any questions. Let me know how I can help, etc., etc. Hopefully, y'all are successful and good luck and have fun on your project.